and welcome to prompt number 102. I got nothing to say. Let's just get into it. All right, we have, a single radio. All right, radio. Here we go. So guess who forgot to save the audio file of the intro? That's right. Can you tell the quality between this and the previous voiceover? That's because thankfully I do have a backup recording, but that's just directly out of the camera. But anyways, now that that's out of the way, very unnecessary explanation, let's talk about our single prompt radio. I swear I always have the hardest time with the single prompts. I don't know if it's because I have so much freedom that I just don't know what to do with myself and I can't decide, but I always have a struggle with the single prompts, so this is no different. I had such a struggle with this, oh my gosh. I felt like I just had so many ideas, I couldn't decide. Did I want to do a character design? Maybe just a cute person with a radio? Did I want to go somewhere deeper? Maybe to have a story in there? Maybe just something more emotional? I just started off drawing different kinds of radios just to see if it would spark anything. Maybe I would come up with a really good idea that I just had to go for, and then I saw that little handheld walkie-talkies are considered radios. So I did start to think about maybe people communicating and maybe there was a deeper meaning behind them. So going into this illustration, I couldn't seem to decide on what I wanted to do. Even when I started penciling it, I thought I had a good idea, but then as I started to pencil, things started to go in a different direction. So originally, I thought about having two characters, and I think the reason why I didn't end up going with it is because it was very cliche. It was going to be a sort of Romeo and Juliet situation, so I was going to have this radio in the middle, and then two characters were going to be sitting on this radio. Now, they weren't actually going to be in the same physical space. It was like a situation where maybe they both had a radio and they would both sit on the radio and they were going to be talking to each other via these little walkie-talkie radios. So it was going to be a thing where maybe they had stumbled across the same frequency. Let's just wait for that car. Maybe they had stumbled across the same frequency and were talking to each other and they had never actually met each other. So I guess it's kind of like an internet friend, but like back in the day where... Another vehicle? Don't you hate it when people are dying and you're trying to record a YouTube video? Anyways, what the heck was I even going to say? Oh yeah, so two people talking through a radio where they hadn't met each other, but they spent a lot of time getting to know each other. Now this is a really cute story. I think this is something I would like to revisit in the future. The only thing I didn't like about it was, like I said, it was going to be a very cliche Romeo and Juliet thing. Maybe one was a cat, one was a mouse, or one was a cat and one was a dog, and they just couldn't be in love because, you know, cat and dog, yada yada yada. I don't know. It was just kind of where I went. So originally when I started to pencil this, I had the dog on the right, but then it kind of looked, I made him more lanky and older than I wanted him to be. I was thinking more that this story would be elementary school students, or maybe even high school. I don't know. I wanted it to be younger people, not so much older. But when I drew the dog on the right, it was very lanky and he looked a lot older. And then I drew the character that was going to be the cat on the left. And again, it was a very lanky, long, older looking character. And then it made me think, instead of completely just redrawing everything I had, maybe I could just make the character on the left the younger version of the dog on the right. By the way, yes, I guess I'm a furry. Sometimes I just really like to draw animals, but I want to make it like a story with intelligence, so I have to make them a human. There's another car, gosh darn. It's emergency o'clock, y'all. Oh my god, I forgot where I was again. Oh, this is the worst. You'll never believe it, but there's actually another emergency vehicle. Wee you, we have a bad prompt alert. Arrest her before she publishes the video. Maybe it's the furry police. I mean, I did just say I was a furry and then, oof. Anyways, I think we are safe to talk now. As you can already see my idea because I have taken so long to get to this point, I have the younger self of the dog on the left and the current present version of the dog on the right. So what I was thinking about the story of this illustration is that this dog is, I don't know, maybe cleaning up an old house that this dog used to live in. Maybe their parents just died, so he is coming in. Well, I don't know. The place looks pretty stinking torn up. Maybe this house was just abandoned for some reason. I'm actually not really sure. My story is falling apart. Either way, he has found an old toy of his, like an old walkie-talkie, And he is having I guess, a memory of when he first got this toy. I guess he really likes the toy. Maybe this toy got him into his job. Maybe he like does radio now or something. So on the right side, we have this dog. He's got a beer on the ground. He's taking a break from cleaning everything up because he is just hit by this nostalgia of this item. And on the left side, we have this sort of like ghostly figure of the memory of when he first got this item, sort of just kind of ghostly being replayed to the left. I tried to make it look like it was his birthday or maybe Christmas or something. So he's got a pile of toys that he's just opened a bunch of balls because he's a dog, so he gets balls for his birthday, and some wrapping paper where he has unwrapped the radio. I guess it's not really an emotional drawing, but it's a drawing that has a little bit more meaning behind it than this looked cute or pretty or something. Sometimes I do like to go into these little narratives. I think they're a lot of fun. I do get a little more attached to my drawings when there's a little bit more of a story into them, but I will say, I don't know, something about this drawing, I just wasn't super into it. I kind of liked it when I drew it, but then once I started coloring it, again, it was another one of those things where I wish I had planned out and limited my color palette just a little bit more. The basketball was just this really weirdly neon orangey color, and the wrapping paper was the only green in the image, which it just stood out to me. It didn't look good. So later on, I do kind of put a blue wash over them just to help kind of bring everything together. Since the older dog's pants are a bluish black color and the little boy's is a blue for the pants and the shirt, and then later I do put stripes on the walls to make it blue. So I do another orange and blue. I think orange and blue might be my favorite colors to play with. Whoops! I do use orange and blue quite a lot. I guess I just like the way they look, even though green's more my favorite color. You can't really do green and red a lot because green and red is Christmas, and that color combination has been ruined. So anyways, yes, I guess I'm a furry. I was drawing the radio and I thought it would be really cute to put a paw print shape in the speaker area or whatever that is. I thought that was really clever and cute. This is so relevant to my last video where I was talking about how we make rabbit characters have all this carrot-shaped stuff, or cat characters have all this fish-shaped stuff. I guess a paw print isn't food, but it's just kind of funny. It's like, as humans, we don't put foot-shaped things on everything, so why do we do that for animal things? Because it's cute? Yes, it is cute. So I think the moment where I really started to lose motivation for this illustration was when I was inking it. I was pretty pumped, and I was inking the little boy, and I had originally planned to do my old dotted line art just to give it a little bit more of a push towards him being a ghostly, imagey figure and not so much a solid figure, and that definitely helps. So I inked half the dog, got to his tail, and that's when I realized, gosh dang it, I meant to make his line art all dotty. So I did it for his tail and then continued inking him regular because I immediately forgot. I'm a big dum-dum, but I think the coloring is mainly where you get the effect of him being a ghostly figure, so I definitely washed him out, though I think I should have washed him out a lot more. I made a lot of things see-through through him, so you can see the radio color go through him, a little bit of the line art of a poster behind him. So overall, he's pretty ghostly. I also did zero shading on him because I just kind of feel like ghosts don't have... ghosts aren't real, so I can't really justify if they have light or not. But I do feel like making a ghostly figure more flat makes it look less like it's part of the real world, and I just really wanted to make sure that that was clear, that this little pup isn't actually there. So I think that not shading it probably definitely helped it a lot. Did it? I don't know, but that's why I did that, so nobody point out that I didn't shade the little dog. I guess I didn't really talk about the posters in the back. I guess I just wanted to do a few nods towards this guy's childhood. Maybe he's from the 90s, I don't know, but I didn't want them to be too distracting, so I kept them more simple. And yep, that's the end. See you at the end card, whee! All right, it's the end card. Let's talk about our featured artist, and our prompts were tree bark and parachute. First up, we have Ginger Ale Arts, who created this really adorable character who has this dress that is made from foresty stuff like tree bark and leaves and acorns, and she's so cute, and there's little creatures parachuting around her. I just loved the character design, and it was just so cute. I couldn't resist featuring this one. It's just so cute. Look at it. Ugh. And also Closeted Ray, who had this beautiful drawing of this big golem-y, is that a golem tree guy? Where someone has crash landed their plane into him, and there's all these little creatures looking at this person with their parachute. But it's really cool looking, and there's so much adventure here, and I love it. All right, thanks for joining in, and I'll see you guys in the next prompt. Bye.